everyone. Happy Thursday.
How's it going?
Going good, my man. How about you, brother? How's your week been?
It's been all right. It's been a weird but relaxing week, so I'm cool with that.
I can kind of relate. It has been odd. And yeah, we'll get into that here in a second here, but I want to say, hey, everybody, thanks for tuning in today. I hope your week is going great. Let me know in the chat where you're watching from, and thanks for stopping in. So, of course, always first in the audience is Mr. Abdul. First, that's my man. Love to see it.
He's always
and that
first.
Danfo. He is. I love it. Danfo's right behind him. He's close second, man. Real close. 5 more minutes, you would have had it, Danfo. Good to have you here, brother. As always, the lovely Wild Angel. Good to see you, dear. And Sandy Wallace. As we know, that is Mom, and Mom's birthday was yesterday. So, happy birthday, Mom.
Happy birthday.
And a lot of birthday wishes here. And I know I saw Rose says, happy birthday, Miss Sandy. Aw, it's so sweet. BTK, my man. How you doing, brother? Good to have you guys with us. So, yeah. You up?
I said welcome, welcome.
Yes. And John Richter sneaking in under the wire, brother. Good to see you, man. So, Cyril, what is going on with the markets, man? It has been absolutely crazy. I mean, the last couple days, we've been bleeding red. Then today, we get a couple that just spike up. I mean, we got Matic going through the roof while everything else is bleeding. What the hell is going on out there, man?
Yeah, so I know Matic is getting pretty close to the release of their ZK network. I know they've been announcing a lot of pretty significant partnerships. And so we're seeing Matic run from that, right? Because what does everybody do? They buy the rumor, sell the news, right? And so when they're announcing partnerships that are coming, etc., people like to speculate on what that will mean for the token long term, right? And so they tend to try to buy before it affects it. And the reason why you usually see the sell the news event later on is because it might take longer than they're anticipating for that price impact to occur from whatever the news event was. And so then they sell it afterwards when it doesn't immediately spike. Now, we're seeing red over the last couple of days, or I guess the last day and a half, really. Just because it ran up way too much, prior to that, right? And things cannot just keep going up. They do have to pull back a little bit. Sorry. I know. I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
Thanks, man. Rain on my parade, man. I thought this was it. We're going to the moon right here. And, it's really interesting because, you see Bitcoin and stuff falling, but then you see a couple like BNB. It's going through the roof. You see Matic going through the roof. And unless you're following what's going on out there, it's really hard to keep up with all these crazy things.
It can be, on one hand, the majority of crypto tends to be correlated, right? So if the main ones are moving up, the other ones tend to as well. And that's because they're all paired to each other in some form. The exception for that is generally going to be if the market's holding pretty steady or going up a little bit, right? But there's additional buy pressure on top of that for a particular project, then it will outperform. Right? If there's more sell pressure, then it will perform worse, right? But ultimately, they're all going to be correlated. It's just a matter of knowing which ones are going to break that correlation and go up higher because they have some news event, or maybe they're more public facing at the time. They've got something exciting going on. More people are aware of it. So,
gotcha. Now, of course, as we know in crypto world, there's kind of seasons. And, we talked about these in many different episodes. Right now, apparently seems to be the airdrop season. I mean, they're going everywhere, and it's insane. And so it's one of those where it's a really interesting trap, because I'm seeing a lot of the ZK chains coming out, ZK EVM, all these, and knowing that with the Matic, it's like, okay, how many of these are legit? And, what's your opinion on airdrop farming, Cyril?
So it can be a very effective way to make money, right? Typically, most protocols have a task that you need to perform in order to be added to the airdrop list of recipients, right? Some of them is something as simple as play around on the test network, or some of them is you buy this token and lock it, and then you're eligible for an airdrop, right? So there's lots of different ways that you can look for legitimate airdrops, but you also need to be aware that when something is popular and when everybody is actively seeking it, that's when scams around that sort of thing are going to start popping up and become very, very prevalent.
No, can't happen. Hey, by the way, I just got some great news I want to share with you guys first. So you got to check this out. Yeah, look at this. I can claim my Mask token airdrop. I just got this email. Man, I'm so excited. I want to click the button. Can I click the button?
No, you cannot click the button. And here's why. So scroll up or go to where it says no-reply at metamask.io, and you should be able to expand that.
I don't want to click on nothing, man. I know this thing. It's evil.
Oh, no.
Let me try and zoom in here.
With a lot of email addresses, there's a way that you can expand that, right? Or you can look at what address it was actually from. And as you can see right there, it's not actually from no-reply at metamask.io, which is what their actual email address is, right? If you look underneath that, what does it say there?
dr.med.tenja.spies. Oh, that sounds bad. At in Delaware or Denmark or somewhere. Yeah, obviously nothing correlating to Metamask. Yet I keep seeing in the news, hey, they're going to have a Metamask airdrop. And you get things like this in the mail all the time, guys. And this is where we want you guys to be safe because you're working way too hard to build your portfolio. The last thing you want to do is click on something like this and have it take all your money. And it will. Make no mistake.
Yep. Now, I just have one quick question for you.
Sure.
Why are you not using ad block?
That's a great question. Why don't I use ad block? Because usually I don't even check my email. I'm horrible at it.
But yeah, fake MetaMask emails, fake Ledger emails are super prevalent. I know I still receive fake Ledger email phishing attempts because when Ledger was compromised like a year and a half ago, I mean, when aren't they getting compromised these days? My email address got leaked along with a whole bunch of other people's email address. And so they know you ordered a Ledger, you've got a Ledger. So if they can send as official looking as possible email saying, you know, hey, click this to, you know, verify or migrate, or, oh, your, you know, like your information was compromised, click here to see what was affected, that kind of stuff, right? They will always try, expand the details in the email header, make sure that everything matches. And even if it does, it's still good practice to not click a link from your email. Navigate directly to the site yourself, right? Because you can obfuscate, you can hide links. There's lots of different things you can do to make it even harder to detect the fact it's a phishing attempt. So just never click links from your email.
Exactly. And, you know, another one that I found really helpful here, and I will add this real quick, is if you do get a link like this and you're not sure, you know, it's like, okay, maybe. So one thing I like to do is I will actually right click on the link it wants me to click, and then I will copy that into like Notepad. So copy link address, and then I'll open my Notepad up and I'll take a look and I'll paste it into that. And sure enough, this one goes to johnnyropark.org/ADA. How the hell does that associate with MetaMask in any way, shape, or form? So obviously there's ways to hide this stuff, guys. And that's what we want to look. Bleh, easy for me to say. Here we go again. That's what we want to let you know is there are so many scams out there and so many things happening. And there's a lot of news stories that correlate with these airdrops. So things like this. So please, please, please be careful out there. Things are getting sketchy and it's just going to get worse. So be safe.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely.
So, now, correlate with that, I don't know if you've noticed, Cyril, but MetaMask has been doing a lot of great things in the last few weeks. Have you noticed that?
I have. I know that I recently updated my MetaMask app on my phone finally. And the extension, there was some kind of update that they did. I'm trying to remember exactly what it was, but I saw it and noticed it. And I know that now you can connect directly to different dApps with a specific network, so you don't have to swap networks back and forth all the time. But be aware, if you do that, you may run into some issues. In my experience, when I activated that feature, if I was connected to the wrong network, right, when I go back to that site later, in order to reinstitute what network it should auto pull from when I connect to it, I have to disconnect and then reconnect. But you should be disconnecting after you're done with a DApp anyway. Sometimes I'm just bad with that.
Me too. And real quick, in case you don't know what we're talking about, I want to show you guys, because I mean, that's why we're here. We're here to educate, guide, and keep you guys safe on your journey. It's not just about building money, it's about keeping it too. So we want to make sure you have this knowledge. So let's go back here, and I'm going to pull up my Metamask real quick. And a couple of the features I've noticed right off the bat is you can directly bridge now through Metamask. That is super helpful. And I can tell you, if you have used like the snaps for Solana or one of the other blockchains, you can actually bridge across blockchains. Even though it's non-EVM, I can bridge from my wallet over directly to Solana. So pretty cool feature there. But also you can go in. I'm sorry?
I said that's awesome.
Yeah, it is. It helps a lot because, as we know, bridging is super sketchy. But if you can do it all directly through your MetaMask, man, that's a huge feature. So one other thing they just updated I want to point out that I found today is if you click the portfolio button, that's going to open up your portfolio, and you can have it count however many wallets you have. Like me, I have a pile of them. But something it's done is it's broken them down on what tokens you have and exactly what wallets they're on. So from one screen, you can start to see all the different things you've got scattered out there. And that can be really helpful. I just did a video for Project 2033 about that series, because half the time it's like, man, I know I got money, but I don't know where it's at. They're adding a lot of great features here.
Yeah, MetaMask, they went for a period of time without really improving the wallet at all, right? And so a lot of people start making their own wallets. A lot of projects started doing that to add features that MetaMask didn't have. Quality of life things like auto importing tokens when they get sent to your wallet, having easy chain switching, like all that kind of stuff. And I guess MetaMask realized that if they didn't start updating things, they would get left behind. And so they started updating, adding these quality of life features, which I think is pretty cool. If you're still using Trust Wallet, try switching to MetaMask.
Yes, then you get in trouble. And hey, you bonks, good to see you, brother. Glad to have you here. And Abdul says, hi, Alex. And yeah, and that's the thing is, I mean, there's so many different wallets out there, but I want to let you guys know that if you haven't looked into the Snaps feature in MetaMask, you really need to. I'm going to be doing a video here probably next week on it, because I found out that I can utilize, like I created the Snaps for Phantom Wallet, or I'm sorry, Soulflare Wallet. Well, if I set up my Soulflare utilizing the same seed phrase my MetaMask is, it links those wallets together so I can navigate them from either one. But that gave me the ability to bridge directly from MetaMask into Soulflare. But then when I go to a DApp, it's connecting to my Soulflare, not my MetaMask. So I can do this two different ways. And it opens up a lot of great possibilities. So MetaMask is really stepping into the next generation of streamlining everything. And I think it's just going to get better.
I agree. And I look forward to seeing that the changes that they add to it and make it even more comprehensive.
Right. And Rich says, still don't see what's wrong with GW. We'll talk after the show, Roostar. We'll have a chat out back, brother. Minus a couple of the apps not being compatible. And, that is a frustrating one. And there's a lot of things coming out. I know that I've had to create a few different wallets, like a Leap wallet for the Cosmos chain and several other chains. Then you got to have a Phantom for Phantom. It's getting crazy, and it's just going to get crazier. So the biggest thing, guys, is practice your safety. Is so when you connect to a site, disconnect at the end of the night when you're done. It's like, okay, going to bed, disconnect everything. Pull the plug. Don't let anything keep talking to it. Because I did it again. I think it was last week. I don't know if I told you last week or this week. I clicked a link thinking, oh, okay, well, this is legit. And clicked it, and all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute. It just took out $10. What? Oh, my God. Luckily, I could go in and immediately disconnect that site, and it couldn't take anything else. Now my wallet's safe again, but it's just sketchy. It's so easy to do in today's system. I mean, we all fall prey to it, except for maybe this guy. I have.
Yeah, one time I did wind up connecting to a site that was a fake site many moons ago, but thankfully the initial connect request was just for read access. I would have had to actually like try to transact before it got all sketchy. So I got lucky in that regard. I was able to be like, wait, something ain't right. Disconnect, close it out, purge, and everything was okay.
Gotcha. Well, that's good. Most of us don't catch it that quick. We get carried away. It's like, oh, I'm excited. What's that do? Oh, that drains everything. My bad. And guys, be careful, because I've seen them in Discords too. People are popping in the chat, and I had another scammer trying to be Serenity the other day. That's how I got actually scammed the other day, is I was in a Discord, the official Discord, and a link popped up in their giveaway channel. They said, hey, go to this giveaway link and sign up for that, because we're going to do a quick giveaway. It was an official Discord channel. Guess what? Somebody hacked it. They put a scam link in there, and sure enough, away it went.
Yep. And it's crazy because a lot of Discord mods or sometimes staff members as well have their account compromised, and it doesn't matter if they have two-factor authentication on or not, because what they're grabbing is they're grabbing the Discord API token for that particular user's account, and then they're able to log in, post directly from their account, yada yada. So even if it's someone from the protocol that you trust who's posting a link for an airdrop or a claim this or claim that, even if it's in like their announcements channel, right? Like, don't click it and start doing stuff until you've verified in Gen Chat that it is correct, it is legitimate, right?
Yep.
So,
yeah, that's how I got hacked. It was all official. Oh, totally legit. All right, so okay, hurry in. Okay, I hurried in. Guess what? I hurried in and emptied it out. It's just, well, shit, that sucks. But hey, it happens. And that's one thing is a lot of the content creators come out here and they say, oh, well, I made this and I did all this and I did this right and everything was perfect. And yeah, I'm going to come out here and tell you the raw truth. Nah, man, I got wrecked. My bad. Because I think that's important to understand on this journey is it's likely to happen, whether it's through scam or just through investing in a project that just drops. We had that happen earlier. We talked about that a couple nights ago or a couple weeks ago on our Switch tokens. Well, now they just unlocked the staking. And yeah, Cyril, what did our $20 turn into?
$1.83 last I looked.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty. So please,
well, I was cautioning against it, but community voted, so.
Yeah, and I had something to do with that. But the biggest thing is to plan accordingly. When you do invest in a DeFi, make sure you can afford to lose it, because things happen all the time. When you do put money into your wallet, things like that, make sure you're practicing the most safe practices you possibly can, because things happen. It's life. Things are going to go sideways.
Yep. And something else that I wanted to kind of retouch on, because I know we touched on it near the end of last episode. But I know that there's someone currently listening who just so happened to miss it because they only caught the first half of last week's episode. I will leave them nameless for now. So let's touch on it again. They asked me in DM, when do I stop my DCA? Right? Because if we're coming on to the bull market and we're seeing that kind of start to shift towards, hey, maybe we're actually heading into something good here now. And we talk about the bear market being for positions and the bull markets for profits. So their question was, do I keep adding to my position? The answer to that is you stop adding to DeFi position, right?
Right.
And you just add to the blue chip position. Until you start like full on DCAing out, there's no real reason to stop your blue chip DCA. And literally 30 minutes ago, I was having a conversation with another individual who's currently in audience. Both he and I were waiting to DCA more into an ETF. And we're like, it just keeps going up. Like, when do we DCA into this? We're both sitting here waiting for a pullback. We're trying to time it when it's a little bit low, but it just keeps trending up day over day. And to which I was like, that is why we DCA at a set time interval every week. That way it takes that decision out of it, right?
Right.
You know, that's why we do it every Thursday. $25, put it in. It doesn't really matter what the market's doing, because ultimately it's the habit that you want to keep, right? It's the habit of treating it like a bill. It's the habit of putting that in. When the market's getting hot, you shift over to the blue chips because they're still going to keep going, right? Once you're at the point where you're seeing out of the blue chips, you have enough profits that you could potentially, if you wanted to, try to capture the alt season, which comes when Bitcoin and Ethereum have kind of topped out. You know, that's when you see the alts start to run. So, you know, at that point, you could stop DCAing into blue chips, right? When you're taking profits on those, you could start looking for some opportunities of maybe some good whitelist opportunities on a fairly hype like DeFi protocol, capture a momentum swing trade there. So there's options, but ultimately, yes, the bear market's for building positions, the bull market is for profits, but keep the habit, right? Don't undo the work. It's very it takes like 66 times of doing something a certain way to make it a habit, right? It only takes 1 or 2 times of missing it to undo said habit. So
I know all about that one.
Stick with the habit. When the markets keep running and you're not really seeing good opportunities, just chuck it into the blue chips. You know, even if they're up, just chuck it into the blue chips instead, right? Keep the habit.
Exactly. And, you know, I want to build on that, Cyril, because Repentant One says I should go watch the crypto tutorial so I can understand what you guys are talking about. You know, that is a great thing there. And, you know, glad to have you here with us. So right off the bat, dollar cost averaging, we've discussed it in many different episodes, but essentially we keep buying, whether the price is up or down. We're building a position. And so what we're going to do is we're going to buy the same day every week, and price might be up 1 week, next week might be down, but either way, it gives us an average price. So we're getting the best deal. And we've shown over the last 36 weeks now, I think, it's very beneficial. He's counting.
This is the 39th episode, sir.
Oh, I can't count 30. My bad. I bowed. Okay, fine. Okay. Had to do it. But you know, I was having a conversation with my son today because I'm getting all my children to start dollar cost averaging into blue chips, okay? And just $10 a week, okay? It's required. They don't get a choice. I'm twisting their arm because
reverse
I was
allow.
never taught. Exactly. Actually, they're all young adults, so they have the freedom, but they're still living here, so I got some control. But the biggest thing is I was never taught as a child how to deal with credit and stuff. We were a low-income household. We didn't know what credit cards were or home loans. Man, we're living check by check. We don't know how to get ahead. And so I said, okay, guys, here's what you're going to do. Okay, I don't like central exchanges, but they are a great way to start. Plain and simple. If you're just starting out, a central exchange is a good, solid way to begin. So each one is going to get a Coinbase account. And they're going to put $10 a week, the day after payday, into that Coinbase account, whether it's a blue chip, their choice, whether it's Ethereum, Bitcoin, Matic, BNB, you know, one of the top cryptos. And they're going to start building that, and they're just going to forget about it. And I had a long conversation with my son, youngest son today, and he's like, well, Dad, here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to wait, and at the end of every month, I'm going to take $100 and put that into this bank account, let it take it out of there, and it'll be fine. And I'm like, okay, think about this, Sage. You have to physically move that $100 into that account and set it up and do the buys every single week. What's going to happen when all of a sudden, oh, I got to get a battery for the car. Oh, man, I just blew a tire out. Oh, man, I just... You're not going to do it. It's going to fail because it's not a habit. So, well, I lost the name. That's because the chat's scrolling by so fast. Sorry, guys. Repentant One. So here's my advice to anybody watching this. If you are just starting, and I don't care how old you are, how young, how rich, how poor, it does not matter. If you're doing day one, step one, make yourself a Coinbase account. Pretty simple. It's a pretty solid exchange. Not the best, but it's a very solid one. Set it up to automatically withdraw $10 every week, every month, whatever you can just afford. Sandy Wallace does $30 a month because she's on retirement. Let that start collecting. Don't worry about the markets. Don't worry about if it's going up or if it's going down, because you're building a position. You're building a habit. And that's the first and most important thing. Once you start to understand that concept, that's when you want to take it out of a Coinbase wallet, move it to DeFi, and spread your wings a little bit further. Then you are able to manage and understand what it is we're doing. Now, if you don't know exactly what I'm talking about here, then yes, I highly recommend go down on the channel, go to the Zero to Hero series. I have a complete series of videos there talking about what is the blockchain, what is a layer one, how to set up a MetaMask, even how to set up a Coinbase. And they're pretty lengthy. It's like, click here, do this, read this. I draw it in crayon. You can't get it wrong, I promise you. But that would be my advice for somebody just starting out. So, Cyril, what do you think about that, buddy?
Yeah, I think that's pretty solid advice. Start over from episode 1 of Rags to Riches. I know there's a playlist that'll also help catch up to speed. But yeah, glad to have you here. And I think that why don't you, the comments, go ahead and catch up on the comments. And
Okay.
while you're doing that, I know that you briefly touched on credit and credit cards.
Yes.
If that is something people would like me to spend like 10 minutes talking about after the dance off, I have a methodology that takes someone from zero credit history whatsoever to a credit score of over 720 in about a year's time. I utilized that because when I met my wife, she had zero credit history, right? And this was like 11, 12 years ago at this point almost. And I simply had her follow the same methodology that I teach, and she had a boss credit score in a very short period of time. So if that's something you guys would like, go ahead and drop a yes please credit or whatever in the comments, and we'll talk about that after the dance off.
Absolutely. And yeah, so Austin, good to have you here, buddy. Yeah, 15 viewers live. Thank you guys for tuning in, and thank you for everybody watching the restream. But remember, hit the like button there. Yeah, we've only got 6 likes. Remember, we are here not for the people who already know what they're doing. We're advising, we're helping, coaching there. We're really trying to help the new people get into the space because, man, the future is crypto. This is it. And right now is the best time to get into it, to start learning these basic principles and strategic investing practices.
Yep. And yeah, because Rags to Riches here, like we want to focus on kind of like the broad and the beginning with a little dose of mindset, right? Because those are the things that are going to matter to someone starting off. I know that there are some viewers that we have who are more advanced, who still come and support anyway. So much appreciated to you guys. But for more, maybe in the future, we'll have some more in-depth, like one-off videos that Serenity and I sit down and do that would add some more advanced knowledge that can piggyback with this. But I think it would be a bit much and a bit long to put into, a regular Rags to Riches episode. So
I would agree. And and that's one thing. We definitely want to make sure Down Home Crypto is all about starting out. And the great thing is you get to talk with people like Cyril, who has decades of investing experience. You've got people like Austin Clark, who trades 24/7. That's his life now. That's all he does, I swear. People like Yabonks. And everybody hangs out in the Down Home Crypto community. And that is where you can cast your vote. So make sure to go in and cast your vote if you haven't already. And I lost it. I had it. I lost it. I lost it. I had it. So that's why we can't have nice things.
because
if you haven't joined the Discord, make sure to do so. And right there's the link there. And you don't have to subscribe or anything like that. But if you happen to be a paid member, if you hit the join button down below and you became a member, you probably saw the announcement I put out today. So I've been sharing little hints and pieces for a few months now about a Project 2033. Well, I just completed my last video and uploaded it to YouTube. Now, this is a complete educational series that's going to go on sale in March. But one of the conditions was my content will always be free to my community. But that will be released to the general masses here very soon. However, if you happen to be a family member or VIP family member, you can watch all 11 videos right now. So check the links there and consider it. So I just saw green flash across my screen. It was Wild Angels like, credit, help, please. Okay.
Yeah.
Trying to catch on the chat same time.
So I've noticed a couple of comments about. I know we touched on it before.
Right.
Yes, YouTube has gotten ridiculous with their ads. They've been trying to push YouTube Premium like crazy. I was watching an episode of Hell of a Boss the other day. It's a 23-minute episode. I counted 9 ads. Some of them were like 40-second unskippables. Some of them were 5-second skippables. Right? It's just ridiculous.
It is. And
I'm sorry, guys, but like we have zero control over that. It's YouTube trying to push their premium. All streaming services, ones that were initially supposed to be ad-free, are now adding ad-free packages that cost more and making the base one that you've been paying for have ads now. It's ridiculous.
That doesn't make any sense.
I know. Amazon is currently fighting a lawsuit about that because when they presented Amazon Prime Video, they said it would always be included for the cost of Prime and it would never have ads. Now they're adding ads to it. But I believe it is time.
It is. It is getting close. And by the way, the ads do help. So I know they are a pain in the butt. I can't control them. But either way, thank you for letting them play for that split second before you swipe. It's like, no, shut up. Because it actually does help the channel. So without further ado, I think it is time. Are we ready?
I'm ready.
We're ready.
Okay.
Let's see. BTK has ad blocker on. That's okay, buddy. You can make it up for me later. When I come down, you buy me one of those white horse cheeseburger, whatever that place was.
White Castle?
Yeah, that one. Okay. Lunch it is. All right. Okay. Not salty at all, but funny when there's trading platform. I must have missed something there. Okay. So, I've got some great news, by the way, Cyril. Do you believe that we have 31 voters this week?
31? What?
31. Yes, 31 people voted this week. Yeah! Good job, everybody.
I guess we can't do a dance-off. I guess it's going to be Grubfish Royale.
It is going to be Grubfish Royale, and I'm sorry to say that, guys, but at the same time, I'm kind of not sorry because I think that is awesome. We're going to get to where we have to scroll the screen some more and fill up multiple pages. So keep them coming.
Is that like the most that we've ever had, or no? I think the most we had was like 34 one week because we did have a little bit of a scroll bar.
We did, and this one we're not quite a little bit of a scroll bar on this one, except for what I just realized.
Your screen zoomed out.
No, I didn't have the audio because if I have the audio with the sound bar, you were hearing me. So you might hear an echo now. Just so you know. All right, BTK, buddy, thank you so much for becoming a YouTube member here. So now you can watch the videos and laugh at me. That is awesome. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate all the support and all the love. And guys, please understand that this is one of those things that for me was a huge ordeal because I got asked to be part of an educational team with like Crypto Sensei, with Yabonks, with James Pelton, with a lot of these big names out there that I'm just a little fish in the pond. So because of your guys' love and support and belief in me, I've been able to do things like this and to hopefully we can reach out together and teach more people. So thank you so much. Wild Angel says, I voted. I am not on there. No, you are not because you are the CEO of Down Home Crypto. You don't get to win. You get to pay the bills. That's how it works. But your opinion matters, so your votes count. Thank you very much.
Your vote counts. Oh,
exactly.
I don't like hearing myself.
Yeah, I know it sucks. Sorry, Cyril. So, guys, as you... Sorry. Yeah, it's one of the things. I'm still working on this. So, as you guys know, everything we do on Rags to Riches is based on your guys' opinion. So, you get to vote on what DeFi project and what blue chip we're going to invest in. And you are welcome to add anything you want to the voting roll. If you do add something on there, please do me a favor. Jump in the channel below it where it says discuss the vote. Share some links, share some opinions. Why do you like that DeFi project? Why do you think we should vote for that blue chip? That's a great thing about this community is we want to share our knowledge and so we all win together. I like it. You're just not going to talk. Okay, fair enough. Okay. There we go. Okay, got it. StreamYard equals. We'll talk about it later, BTK. Okay, are we ready? Dance time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wiggle fishies wiggle. This is where it gets brutal. Oh, that was gruesome. Okay, who's left? Oh, Philip's gonna blow down here. Nope. Oh, turbocharge. Okay, go, Philip, go. Poof. I can't even tell who's alive. Mommy's gonna blow. Oh, Mommy blew up. Sorry, Mommy. See, I see Hope Giver in there. Emu, Gonzo, BTK still alive. Mercs, Roostar. Oh, well, they were gonna blow up. They didn't make it. Hello, Mercs. Let's see who's Alpha Cruz, Hope Giver. Oh, Mom's still alive. Hello. Oh, John Richter. He's flying by. Look at him go. Oh, that was ugly. Let's get down there. Oh, Wesley Thomas is slowing down, man. What are you doing? There you go. Oh, bye, BTK. Sorry, buddy. Uh-oh. Marshall Dom's gonna blow. Gonna blow. Yeah, there he went. Oh, Wesley bought it. Hey, Alpha, Mossman, and Rooster. Oh, Rooster and Mossman. Or Moses Man. Rooster, my man. Woohoo! Yes. Nicely done. Well done, everybody. Okay, as you guys know, Rooster, you are the winner, my man. And as of last week, I changed the rules. So
congratulations. I thought you fixed audio.
I did fix the audio.
Oh, now you fixed it. Okay.
Are you happy now? Okay.
Yes.
I had to remove it. So congratulations, Rooster. Now, as you guys know, it used to be you had till the end of the stream. Now you have 24 hours to shoot me a DM in the Discord. So let me know that you won, you were watching, and we'll make sure to get your winnings sent over to you.
That was intense, though. Looks like
yeah, Rooster says, that was terrifying. It was.
Oh, man.
I love it.
Couldn't even tell who was dying and who was still alive because of the lag and how many names were all together.
Oh, it gets crazy. And, as we keep going, as we keep growing this list, we'll be looking for different ways to do it, whether it's marble races or we'll come up with some different ways to kind of keep life going into it. And that way we know who to cheer for because, yeah, it gets pretty intense.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. Absolutely.
And, yay, Rooster! Congrats! Jason says, celebration!
It won't be long before your computer says, please just switch to a name wheel picker.
Yeah. Please do the Wheel of Fate.
No. Send Rue the USDC on AVAX, right? Because I guarantee you his wallet probably doesn't have like any actual AVAX gas in it. So then he's going to have to like find some way to send AVAX gas to it. Just like I did when you sent me USDC on AVAX when you know I don't use AVAX.
Hey, it's free money, man. You don't get to bitch about how you get it. That's just the way it works. But at the same time, AVAX went up quite a bit since then, hasn't it, though?
Yeah, it did. But
you're welcome, Cyril. Actually, you're welcome, Rose, because she won.
Well, she won hers. I converted my 10 USDC over to AVAX back when AVAX was like a fraction of the price it was now. So I think my AVAX is worth like $70 from 10.
A 7X? There you go, guys. So right there, as you can see, winning a $10 dance-off has turned into $70 payday, and we haven't even hit the bull run yet. And, I am an AVAX believer. I like AVAX, and I know they're building a lot of stuff, so I think it has potential. Cyril's not. That's okay. That's what makes this show great, because we can agree to disagree. We are all different out there. So just because he says that, hey, I should buy this, doesn't mean I have to. Just because I think this is a great idea. He's going to laugh at me, usually, but that's just normal. The biggest thing is... Good.
Have you brought an investment to me that I've actually approved of yet?
I don't think so. I don't think you have.
I was sitting here trying to think. I was going to add to that and be like, yeah. And sometimes Serenity finds really good things that I didn't know about, and I think, oh, okay, cool, But I'm sure it will happen.
Yeah, everybody's laughing at things, right? Like, let's see. Works calling. Love you. Thanks, Rooster. Love you, brother. Congratulations, my man. Shoot me a DM with your wallet address, and we will get that sent out to you. And yes, Wild Ancestry says most stuff on AVAX, and that's just because we're familiar with it. So you find what you believe in, do your own research, and decide for yourself. Because in the end, remember, you are accountable for your own investment. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to that guy over there. Doesn't matter how much we know. You know your situation, so decide for yourself. Most important thing out there.
Yeah, and sometimes the reason why I might dislike something is simply because I don't want another network that I have to pay attention to, right? Like that can be the only reason why I choose to poo-poo something. So bear that in mind, right? Make your own decisions.
Exactly.
So thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Repent One. Hey, if you have any, by the way, I just realized I looked at the picture closely. Repent One is actually one of my neighbors. I was talking to him just the other day about crypto. And sat there for about an hour or so and said, hey, stop in. So, buddy, great to have you here. And if you have any questions, man, you know where to find me. I will help you out any way I can. So thank you, brother. Have a great night. Okay, so we did have some requests for your credit information.
Yep. So here's what I was thinking about doing. Because there are probably some individuals who may not give two craps about, what I'm about to say regarding credit. Maybe they're not from the US where credit's not as important. Maybe they're already doing great. What I would like to do is I would like to save that I would like to switch the order that we do the portfolio and the votes. I would like to do that now and then do the credit thing. That way, people who want to see where things are at before they dip don't have to sit around and listen to me ramble about credit and how to build it for about 10 to 15 minutes if they don't want to, right?
Good call. I think that's a great change up. And I think that shows a lot of respect for the community. So if you want to learn about the credit,
time is money. I don't want to take up their time if they don't need to know about it,
Perfect. I say let's do it. So speaking of money, so how does our money look? Let us know. Let's see.
Well, let me go ahead and initiate the share. There we go.
Do I want to see?
There you go. All right. So this week, we started the week off with $1,128.47. We are ending the week with $1,156.83 for a gain of $28.36 or 2.45%. It's worth noting that we would have had better gains by about like 10, 15 bucks more. But of course, our gains were offset a little bit by our Switch token completely collapsing in value. But we're doing pretty good with our holdings. I think that we are pretty well diversified right now. I know that, yes, we do have a decent amount of BNB, but that's blue chip. I'm cool with it. I know that we do have a decent amount of KKF, right? But because that's an ETF that represents 10 other assets, it's really only like 2.4% on average of each of those assets that make up KKF. So that's pretty well diversified right there. We have 12% Matic, 9% in BTC. We've got almost 4.5% of ETH. We've got 8.4% of gold. We've got here's some Polygon BNB. So I guess that consider that part of this one right here. So we have just about 25% BNB in our portfolio. We have a little bit of Sol, 2%. We've got a little bit of mass tokens, which we still have sitting in the LP, right? Or no, wait, we have the mass token staked on their Momentum platform, earning little drips of mass token. The thing that we have in LP is a little bit of our Elephant Money token that we still have that moon bag of. And since it hasn't hit the trigger for us to sell the 50% that we have in there, it's in there, it's earning fees, it's chilling. And yeah, so our weekly, as you can see, we've been trending up. The rate at which we're trending up has been increasing over the last couple of episodes. And that is a direct result of the market. and increasing overall. Our total portfolio is up 17.52% right now.
Woohoo! Nice. And so now when we bring up that pie chart there, Cyril, it's starting to get pretty fragmented. At what point in time do we say, okay, now we just need to build higher into the positions we have versus bring on more projects? Or how's that going to work? Because I know at the beginning we said we didn't want to get into too many or get too diversified.
Right.
So,
well, of these wedges, right, it's important to remember that this is a blue chip. 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 This is straight up gold, right? This is, I don't consider Sol a blue chip, and I will fight you before I call it a blue chip. So a DeFi project, 2%. A DeFi project, 2.5%. There's some more Sol. I guess it's on a different network. Oh yeah, I've got some Sol on BSC and some Sol on Sol. So I guess Solana makes up like 4.4%. That's a DeFi project, 3.8%. Okay, so we've got 3.8%, 4.4% as DeFi, realistically at the moment, plus the little tiny smidgen we have left of Switch. We really don't have much in the way of DeFi protocols in our portfolio at this point. Most of it is blue chips. The little bit of DeFi exposure that we have is to some infrastructure protocols like Uniswap, QuickSwap, Arbitrum, etc. And those minute bits of exposure are wrapped up within these ETFs here, right? Because we have, just as an example, I'm going to pop on over, share a different tab. Like for KKF, right? While it may represent like almost 25% of our fund, 20% of that is BTC, blue chip, like almost 20%. 18.5% is ETH, blue chip. 18.5% is gold. We also have that in our portfolio already. WMatic, GNS, QuickSwap, Uni, BAL. These are all like 5% or less. So we do have some DeFi exposure through the actual ETFs that we have, right? So our portfolio is really well positioned to grow with the crypto market total market cap, not necessarily capturing any of the additional gains that could be found within DeFi, right? Any of those additional gains that we're currently exposed to is just the 3.8% of paper, the 4.4% of Solana, and then whatever is retained within this 4.8% of AKKF, because that one's a lot more DeFi protocols ETF, and then like maybe a total of about 25% of KKF is DeFi protocol, not blue chip. So
So let me ask then, are we doing ourselves a disservice by not being more diversified in the DeFi world, and we're going to miss out on those gains?
Ultimately, I don't think so, right? But my risk tolerance is not necessarily the same as our viewers, right? Like, I don't like a lot of risk. I know that in order to buy a DeFi project, everyone is first going to have to buy the blue chip, right? So it just makes sense to, instead of running the higher risk on a DeFi project that may or may not perform, just get the blue chip, since they have to buy that too in order to buy the other thing, right? So it's still going to benefit from price increase and from people coming into the market, but with significantly less risk.
Okay, and that makes sense. And I know a lot of people get into this thinking, well, I'm going to make millions my first year in. And we're trying to teach everyone to work strategically, methodically. You're not going to get rich overnight. And if you do, it's a 1 in a million Hail Mary pass. You got in really early, day one of Pepe printed out before it was ever anything. And hopefully you sold just as soon as it hit that peak, like dump it. But that's like 1 in a million shot. It's not likely. It's more likely you're going to get wrecked trying to play that chase the dollar game. So That's what we're trying to teach you here. And so it's a great thing to look at. And these are questions that people are going to ask. Like, well, yeah, but I'm missing out on this 100x gain. Like, are you? Or are you just missing out on losing, like your Switch tokens where, oh, hey, guess what? They're gone. What are you really losing out on?
Right. Because crypto, the blue chips are already pretty volatile compared to the stock market, right? And the only thing a DeFi project is a token that has a fluctuating exchange rate to a blue chip, right?
Right.
So you're taking something that's already volatile and you're making it even more volatile and then saying, oh yeah, this is a good idea.
Yeah.
So
let's play with fire in a hay barn. What could go wrong, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like slapping an open flame candle on your Christmas tree, and thinking that that's a good idea. I mean,
wait, it's not. Oops.
No. So personally, I think that our community has done an excellent job balancing our portfolio across mostly blue chips. And if you think about it, early on, when we first started this journey, that's when a lot of DeFi projects were getting added to our portfolio, right?
Right.
And I've noticed that hasn't really been the case as we've been going on this journey, and our community and our listeners have been learning as we're going through this journey, and they've been educating themselves on what is and isn't a good, solid choice for investments. They've stopped really recommending DeFi protocols altogether, and they just keep recommending the ETFs, which is a safer way to DCA into a bunch of blue chips with a 25% exposure to DeFi. So, it's interesting to see that change and that pivot, and it means you guys are listening and learning. So much love.
Exactly. And, I want to definitely reiterate one thing earlier is, we're going to have opinions. So we're going to have beliefs of what we think is right. Just like Cyril was talking earlier about Solana, not considering blue chip. Personally, I do. We have our own reasons, and that's okay. You don't have to agree with us. Your portfolio doesn't have to look anything like us. Biggest thing we want you to do is learn to think for yourself, learn to research, learn to assess the threat, and decide if it's right for you. Because that is the most important thing, is to help you on your journey.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I hear a lot from people in this space who are trying to learn is, I'm not as smart as you. Okay, I want you guys to stop that, because define smart. Okay, most people, when they say I'm not smart, what they really are saying is, I just don't know that yet, right? Smart is the ability to change your mind when you are presented with new information. A lot of people struggle with that, right? Because it's human nature to hold on to our core beliefs, and our brain will instantly challenge anything that is not in line with our core beliefs. Right. So if you're carrying that, and remember, so much of the way we see ourselves is through the eyes of others, right? So like and how you treat yourself is how others are going to treat you. So if you sit there saying, I'm not smart, I can't do this, blah, 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 right? People are going to see that. They're going to treat you that way, right? Because you told them it's okay. So just have an open mind, be willing to change your opinion and your thought processes when new information is presented. And congratulations, you're smart.
Right. That's it. It's that simple. And and on top of that, the only thing I got to add is, when you do make a mistake, don't look at it as like, oh my God, I screwed up. Look at it as like, hey, I learned something new. Because to be honest, as humans, we learn the best is when we fail. Because that means we risked, we tried. And you know what? It didn't work. That's okay. You tried something new, it didn't work. Take that knowledge, add it to your collective, and now you're more prepared for the next time that decision pops up, or a similar decision.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So, as it is always time about now, we're actually running a little late because we're having too much fun today, is, as always, you guys know, you make the decision on what we invest in. Cyril and I don't get to choose how this goes. We do what you tell us. So, would you like to know what you guys chose this week?
I'd like to know.
You want to know? What about anybody? Anybody else want to know?
Nah, they don't want to know.
They don't want to know. Okay.
Okay.
And
But you can show me.
okay. I'll just share it with Cyril because nobody else is speaking it because the rest of the audience must be asleep. So this week's votes came hot off the presses are as follows. Blue chip. Matic. Yes. Good choice. I like that one personally.
It looks like people were also calling for BTC. ETH and ARB tied. I know that whoever put WorldCoin on there did it as a facetious joke. I know that. I'm assuming.
Oh, yeah. I hope so. But who knows? Some people, and WorldCoin does have a decent narrative of what they're trying to do. But I would say that's a DeFi side, and it's a high risk. If they pull it off, great. Like anything else in DeFi, it's a gamble. So something like that, I would say we're going to move into the DeFi side next time we vote. But yeah, why not? You guys think that that's what we should be investing in on the DeFi? I'm okay with that. Cyril doesn't. He's got that look, I can tell.
Moving on. And it looks like the side, y'all have chosen KKF, the low risk ETF. And with the runner up being the medium risk one.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's interesting. Because personally, as a smaller investor kind of thing, I'm more apt to lean towards the medium risk myself. I figure the low risk, like, okay, that's a nice slow grow. That's a long term. But for me, just moving in the bull market, personally, I like the medium risk. What about you, Cyril?
So I would have to say that I prefer the low risk because it's mostly blue chips. The medium risk is fairly solid too, in my opinion, just because of the way that it's set up. It's more of a low risk stuck on just one network, which would be Arbitrum. But anywho, so ultimately for this, whatever the community picks, I'm good with. As long as it's not terrible.
Hey, either way, we give you guys the power. So whatever you vote for, unless it's just like horrible, we'll do it. I mean, that's what we're here for. We're here to learn together. And so, yeah, we're going to make some bad choices. It's just like the Switch token that Cyril's like, no! Well, we did. And you know what? We learned together. And yes, I voted for that one. Not going to lie. Absolutely I did. And now it's like, wow, that was a bad idea. Yes, it was. And I learned. So once again, I have to learn the hard way. There's nothing wrong with that. That's the most important thing to learn here is we're all learning together. We're all growing together. And hopefully united, we come up with some great votes.
100%. And I just switched which tab I'm sharing because I noticed something ironic when you were talking about higher gains. So if you look, technically the low risk one is actually up more this month or in the last 30 days than the medium risk one. So...
Shot my idea all to hell. Yeah, you're fired.
Yeah.
Who's the manager of that thing? I want to talk to the manager right now.
I don't know. So yeah, it looks like the low risk ETF is up 26.12% in the last 30 days, and the medium risk is up 22.82% in the last 30 days. So that's cool.
Either way, they're both up, so I'm pretty happy. And yes, if you guys want to know about the Kirikou Fund, in the description down below, there are 2 links to both the medium and the low risk. And utilizing the referral links helps the channel, so thank you very much. Anyway, I think we're pretty well set, guys. I think you did great. And as you know, the voting polls are open right now for next week's Rag to Riches. And also, those videos are out for the family members. So go check them out. I'd love to get some feedback on what you guys think. Am I teaching it correctly? And am I getting the message across? I'm always looking for input, so thank you very much.
Absolutely. And
I'm going medium risk. Exactly.
Oh yeah, because his low risk position is 75% higher than his medium risk right now, so he wants to balance it a little bit. But yeah, so at this point, I wanted to say thank you to everybody. We are going to run a little over here now, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the methodology that I utilize to take someone who has 0 credit history to a solid credit score in about a year. But for those of you who don't want to hang around for that, thank you for joining us. Be sure to hit like, subscribe. See us tomorrow on Freaky Friday. And thanks as always for joining. And go get your votes in for next week.
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much for everybody joining in. And as always, do me a huge favor. Tell a friend, a family member, a coworker. My entire mission here is to help those people who are working day to day with no idea what they're going to do tomorrow. We've got to get those people in here, get them learning, at least the basics. Get them to start dollar cost averaging $5 a week, whatever they got, just to start building and learning. Because, guys, this is the future. And if we're letting other people not learn about this, we're kind of holding them back. They're not going to hurt us. They're going to help us if we unite and we build together. So please spread the word. And as always, just do me a huge favor, hit the like, subscribe to the channel, and make sure to tune in tomorrow for Freaky Friday, where I don't know what's going to happen, but we're going to have fun either way. So thank you very much. And Cyril, tell us how to build our credit, my man.
All right. So this is going to assume you live in the United States of America, because that's where I live and that's the system that I know. And so that's what we're going to go with. If you live in a different country, this doesn't apply to you, right? So if you're here in America, one of the hardest things is starting your credit score, right? A lot of people or a lot of places, they want to see you have credit before they'll give you anything, right? If you are not lucky enough to have a relative or someone who already has a great credit score, you're going to have to build it yourself from ground zero. If you do, right, let's say you've got a parent, a friend, a close relative, whatever, who has a really great credit score, ask them to add you to one of their credit cards, because you can do that. It automatically gives you their credit score, sort of. Let me explain. So one of the factors that determines what your credit score is the credit that you have available to you and payment history. When you get added to somebody else's card, the bank's going to send them a card that's specifically for you. They don't have to give it to you, right? So you don't actually get to use it, but it adds you to it. Obviously, don't ask someone who's not great with their credit to do this for you, right? Or it'll trash your credit score too. But what that does is it says it shows up now on your credit report as having that available credit, which is going to instantly shoot you up to 700 plus, right? Because you had no credit score, no credit history whatsoever. Now you have a credit card that has already been there for however long they've had it, because age of credit history is very important as well. Never close your first card. You will screw up your credit history age. Just occasionally charge like $5 to it, pay it off, whatever, right? Just to make sure it stays open. Don't ever close your first one. But here's what you're going to do. If you are starting from square zero and you do not have a friend or family who can add you to their card to help give you that boost, you may have to start off using what's known as a secured credit card. Most banks offer this. You give them like $300, $500, whatever. They lock it away, and then you can then spend on it like a credit card, and you pay it back to pay back the deposit that you made, right? And that deposit is your credit limit. Now, that way they're taking no risk, essentially. But that lets you start building on-time payments. Sometimes you have to start off that way. You might not have to if you go to Chase and apply for one of their cards, like their Venture card or their Sapphire card. The credit places, they're going to ask you some information when you fill out your form. One of those questions also happens to be, what is your annual income? For entertainment purposes only, I will inform you that it's very important to make sure you report that accurately, because they don't have a way to check it. So make sure you're reporting what your income actually is, because a big part of whether or not they're going to approve or deny your request for your very first card is going to be determined by how much you're making. Okay? Read between the lines what you will, but that's just to remind you to report it accurately. Once you have your first card, wait a little bit. Wait about 2-3 months. What you're going to do is you are going to put like your Netflix bill on your card. Then you're going to log into your card's account. You're going to set your card to auto pay itself in full before the end of the billing cycle. Then you're going to put that card in your jewelry box or wherever, or cut it up. It doesn't matter, because you're not touching it, period. You have that bill go in, that small bill go in every month, and then auto pay it. You already had it doing that with the debit card, so there's no difference. The only thing that will change is the date that payment comes out, which again, you can choose to what date you had that payment come out, right? So even better. What this will do is it will start building a payment history. Here in America, you get a free 25 points towards your credit for each card that you have, up to a max of 4. So this is very important, right? The rest of your credit score that you're getting is coming from available credit, number of accounts that you have. We'll get to that in a bit. Debt to income ratio, that reflects more on your borrowing power, not necessarily your credit. There's a lot of factors. First and foremost, download the Credit Karma app, sign up. Highly recommend it. If it can't find you, it's because you have no credit score, right? So you're going to start building it. Then once you have that, get the Credit Karma app. They'll show you which cards are going to give you a good approval odds, yada, yada, which ones have like welcome bonuses, etc. right? But you've got your first card. You've set it and forget it, right? You're going to wait 2-3 months, get another card. Every time you get a card, your score will be dinged by 2 points because they will run a hard credit check, right? So you don't want to apply for a whole bunch of them. Space it out. So first card, 3 months later, get another one, right? The credit limit they give you is going to be higher than your first one because they see that someone was already willing to lend you X amount. And they're like, oh, well, he's been making payments on it. He's been managing it just fine. We'll give him more, right? Why not? They want you to spend it because they want you to pay them interest. But doing it this way, you don't ever pay any interest, right? Because you're paying it off in full before the end of the billing cycle. But you still counts for that on-time payment. So once you have your second card, same thing. Small bill, set it, forget it, let it go. Now you're getting 2 on-time payments each month. Go another 3 months. Go back to the first card, request a credit limit increase. They will most likely give it to you. Once that posts on your credit, and now you have a higher available credit limit, accept your third card. Okay? They will give you a higher credit limit. At this point, for your second or your third card, I recommend trying to get the Chase Blue or the Chase Sapphire. The Capital One Venture and the Capital One, they have another one. I forget what it's called. They got so many different types. Capital One is great for your first card, right? The Chase Sapphire, they don't want to be like your 4th or 5th card that you get. They like being the second one. They're more likely to approve you if they're the second, maybe the third card that you've got. And in my experience, if you get them as like your third card and you've already done what I said with the first 2, they'll typically give you a credit limit around 12 grand, which is nice. Of course, this varies, depends on what your income was, right? Same thing, set it and forget it. Now that you have that one, right? Once it posts on your credit history, which it will usually do about a month later, right? At that point, you're able to go back to your second card, request a credit limit increase, right? Your credit limit on your first one was already increased. Now you have the third one with a high limit. Your second one sees that and says, cool. You're going to keep doing this cycling around. Then 3 months after you have your third card, get your fourth and final card. These are the only cards you're going to have for the next 6 months. Okay. It's a great thing that this is recorded because you can watch it again and write down the steps, right?
Oh, I am. I'm totally going to write this stuff down.
6 months after you have your fourth card. Remember, this whole time you've been going through cycling credit limit request increases. You've been getting 4 on-time payments each month towards your credit. So you're building that payment history, you're building that buffer. The reason why we now wait 6 months before adding our next one is we're giving our credit age a little chance to build up, right? Because each time you get a new account, it reduces your credit age average. So when you decide you're going to add to your accounts, do it rapid fire, right? It'll hurt you initially, give it some time to recover, right? That also will be impacted by those hard credit report pools that dings you those 2 points. Try not to have more than 3 or 4 of them. They fall off after 2 years, right? So worst case scenario, you might have 5 to set all of this up the way I've been talking about it during your first year, right? But then you're just going to chill, right? You've got these 4, potentially 5 cards after the 6 months, right? At that point, you're going to be receiving tons of credit card offers in the mail. Wait until you see one that offers you something close to like 14.99% interest. Never get a card that charges an annual fee, right? You don't have to pay the annual fee. Just don't get one that does that. At that point, your 5th card, you'll have great credit. You should have access to somewhere in the neighborhood of between 20 to 28,000 in total available credit, which will be awesome for your credit score. At this point, you've been at it for about a year. Your credit should be gone from nothing to in the neighborhood of 720 to 740 during this year's time. So follow that. That's the process. I've had quite a few people successfully follow that process, and it's great. I love it. So
perfect. And, this is great because that's one thing I was just talking to Horatio today about, is I need to have my children start building their credit. Because like I said earlier, I come from a low income where we dealt with cash. If we didn't have the money, we couldn't buy it. That's just the way it was. We didn't deal in credit, didn't know anything about it. Closest to credit we knew was checks. And so I don't have the experience to teach them. So this has been a huge help, Cyril. Thank you so much, brother.
Absolutely. And, maybe sometime, you can just clip that section and upload it as its own little video about building credit or something. I do have a how-to where I've actually written all of that down, and I'll post it in the Down Home Crypto Discord so that anybody who wants to can go and see all the steps and the process is written down.
Yes, please do. And make sure to pin it to the channel too. That way it stays somewhere quickly relevant. So yeah, brother, that is amazingly huge information. So as you know, here at Down Home Crypto, we're all about helping you guys. And it's not just about cryptocurrency, it's about all of life. And that's why we have our Freaky Friday tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern, where we talk about anything, because it's about a community. It's building up, and it's not always just about making money. It's about making a better life for each of us and hopefully doing it together.
Absolutely. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. And I promise, I know we ran late, so we're not going to keep you any longer.
Exactly. So everyone, thank you so very much for tuning in. And as always, the only thing I ever ask is, hit the like and subscribe down below. Tell your friends about us. Get them in here. Let's get them educated, whether it's on crypto, it's on having a healthier lifestyle, whether it's credit repair. Man, we got a one-stop shop for everything. So hope to see you tomorrow. Oh, easy for me to say. Hope to see all of you. Yeah. That's twice now I've wrecked it. But no, seriously, I hope you can join us tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern for our Freaky Friday. And truth be told, we don't know what's going to happen. But I have been creating a poll on YouTube. So you guys get to help pick the topics we're going to talk about for tomorrow as well. So nice. It really is about the community. So thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend and stay safe out there. See y'all tomorrow night.
See ya.
Bye, guys.